Well, John, F Open finale. Here we go.
Oh, this is going to be a good one.
We got David Christian
Yeah.
against Bob Sebold.
Ooh. Teammate on teammate.
Yeah, Team Lapua member versus Team Lapua member. This has been a very interesting road. David Christian hasn't lost a single match. However, every single match that he has shot has went to
Yeah.
three. He hasn't won any in two.
Yeah. 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 No lay down matches. I think he just wanted to use up his ammo so it was less flying home.
Right. But every match has been, for that
Yeah,
reason,
tough.
a
Yeah.
stressful match for him because
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know what to say.
I know. And he's definitely, I mean, he's gone across the top. He hasn't lost yet, but he's definitely had to earn it. I mean, 100%. I don't think we've ever seen somebody go across 3-3-3-3 all the way.
No. But anyway, equipment wise, this is pretty easy. They're pretty much shooting the exact same thing. Board and actions, X-ring stocks. Well, Sebold's shooting an X-ring. I believe
think David's got a Cirrus.
Spear of Destiny, or kind of the speedy version. Barrels are Brooks, scopes are Collis. Seb Rest, Seb Neo X. I believe Sebold also has a Seb Neo X. I mean, pretty much identical. But load the same. Everything's the same. They are teammates. So.
And I think they're both shooting the 7 PRCW, right?
Yeah, that is correct. All right, so that's it. Enough of that. You ready?
Oh yeah.
Let's do it.
Oh yeah.
Sebold takes the first shot, and it's a 5.
Shutter 1. Thank you.
They're just bouncing back and forth.
It's David's turn, but he's taking his time. Now, David hasn't shot in a while.
Yeah. It's been a couple hours, right?
He's been sitting there. He just plowed through the field. He's been sitting there waiting to see who would come up from the bottom bracket, and that ended up being Sebold.
Yeah, so I think he shot the first match of the day, and then because he won, he's been waiting for these other, I think it was 3 more matches to clear out before the finals.
Yeah, so the flags are pretty active. This is no gimme.
But he was right there where Bob was. Just leaked it out, though.
Yes. So, David's putting a beating to the scope. He's blaming the scope for his 4.
It's interesting to notice how much higher Sebold's whole setup is over David's. If you look at the rest.
Oh, yeah.
Very different in how they approach their positioning.
Huh? My tablet. Oh. You have 2 5s. You want to convert?
What are you going to shoot from now
on? Center hole.
Like you said, right? No.
All right, no convert.
You know what? Let me take that back. Convert them both.
All right, convert both. 5-5.
It's a tough decision because, the conditions are, they're not mild, but Sebold knows David's been on fire, and he's trying to stack the odds on his favor. But I think he made the right decision picking those 2 5s, taking those 2 5s. Now, David's got a 5 here. Is he going to take it?
Mine hasn't even showed up yet.
Do you think he's taking that 5?
I think he will.
Going to convert?
I'll take that one.
5, 1 on.
Thank you.
Here we go. Sebold's got 8 shots to go. David's got 9.
Five, 3 on.
Thank you.
Right there. I mean, that's right on top of his last shots.
Now, David's been you know, one thing that we can't see from this video is David's been really piling on the V count. And that's the reason Sebold was very hesitant about taking 5s.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And, you know, he keeps hitting 5s. Uh-oh.
Oh!
Wow.
4, 2 on.
Thank you.
He's not going to like that. There he goes, beating on the scope again.
That's just a habit that he has. But anyway, back to the match. The Sebold all of a sudden jumps way ahead with that 4. It may not seem like it, but in F Open,
Oh,
Thank you.
1 point is huge, especially in these mild conditions.
and Sebold's not running a spotting scope. He's just using his rifle scope. David does have a spotter. You can't see it real well, but it's over on his right side. So aside from him just eyeballing those flags, he is looking through a spotter as well. There it is.
B3.
Thank you.
Look at him. He's still clicking his scope. He wants to get... He knows how good his rival has been shooting. So
Yeah.
he knows that even being slightly low in that V ring, he wants to be perfectly centered. Uh-oh.
Oh!
Wow.
Spot on.
Thank you.
And all of a sudden they're flip-flopped there. Dave found the V and Bob found the 4.
Five, 4 on.
Thank you.
That water line's tight now. But what's Bob gonna do here?
Five.
Wow, he
Thank you.
almost lost that one.
He caught it.
Oh wow.
Sebold.
Like we were saying, David's gun has been shooting incredibly well. So that's why
I mean,
he
those
was...
last. Yeah.
Yeah,
Go
that's
ahead.
why he was being so picky with his elevation, even though he was low in the V ring.
Oh,
4.
Thank you.
Well, Sebold already knows that this is not good. You know, anytime your gun starts to fall apart like that, it's signs of worse things to come. Oh,
5.
now
oh.
this is where a really flat shooting gun helps you. Look at that. I mean, if that shot had been an inch higher or lower,
Yeah.
that would have been a 4.
Exactly.
V.
Oh, there you go. Bob's back
Thank
in
you.
there.
Now, as good as David's gun is shooting, he's not walking away with the V count.
B.
Thank you.
7.
V9.
Thank you.
Well, it seems like Sebold's gun is shooting better now, but, you know, he's got those 2 4s hanging up there.
Yeah.
Now, you can also tell the conditions are
V8.
pretty
Thank
consistent.
you.
These guys have really sped up
Yeah.
how fast they're shooting.
That's Bob's last shot there.
Yep.
V, you're all out.
Okay. Thank
So
you.
David, he just needs a 5 to win. He's got 2
Yeah,
shots
2
to
5s.
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
B.
one
9.
more. He needs a 5
One
and he
more?
wins it.
Now it's interesting. He's taken a little bit of time here. You would almost think, unless there's something that really caught his eye, and those flags did pick up. I was halfway expecting him to just rail that second one out, but man, he put on the brakes pretty quick there.
Well, that's why he's here. That's why he's in the
David.
finale, because he doesn't just send them shots down there without checking all the conditions first.
Yeah.
So David takes the first one.
All right.
I mean, this is moving quick.
Yeah.
Better one's a V.
Now, as you can see, Sebold changed guns, which
Okay.
it is allowed by the rules.
Sorry, one's a V.
Thank you.
David, as you can tell, he's very calm and collected. As you said earlier, he's not just jumping in and
Take them both.
and taking the shots without watching the conditions.
Five. You want them both?
Yeah.
V5. 2 on.
Now those flags, look at that flags on the left. They're and
They're
that's
moving.
what David's looking at. You know, David's really paying attention. It would be very easy to simply, as you said, just hold your left hold and shoot. But
V, 3 on.
I expect David and and Sebold as well to be actually moving around on target. This is not a point and shoot type of match, even though they're making it look that way.
Yeah, I mean, look at the flags on the right now.
Now, something worth mentioning is Sebold is actually the head coach for the U.S. rifle team, and they just came back from South Africa, won the world championship. So he's a wind reading machine. Now, David, on the other hand, he's very experienced. He's shot under Sebold for a long time, and also kind of has his bag of tricks.
Thank you.
4 on.
Of course, bag of tricks kind of ran out there a little bit, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, it still has a long ways to go, but the point is, if the wind picks up, it favors Sebold. But the way David has been shooting for the last 3 days, I'm not so sure. I wouldn't put my money on either one of these guys. They're both just been hammering. Obviously, that's why they're in the finale.
That's why they're here. Yeah.
Now, notice how that 4 didn't rattle David or Sebold. Like, there was no excitement whatsoever.
4.
Wow.
Thank you.
Man.
You showed more excitement than they are, John. Now, anyway, back to the match. I mean, you can see those flags switched around.
5 on.
Now, Sebold kind of got lucky. I don't know if luck is the correct word, but
Bob barely caught that one.
well, they flipped around. David missed it. Sebold caught it.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of catching one.
5, 6 on.
It must be picking up because that's, I mean.
Well, it is. It's coming from the left now. It was coming from the right earlier, and it's flipped around. And they're a little bit behind the wind a little, right now.
Oh, there you go.
5, 6.
They're starting to get centered up.
And we talk about this all the time. It doesn't take but 1 or 2, liners to catch or fall out to move this, one of these matches. And Bob right now, Bob's been catching it, and David's just been outside. There you go. He's back in.
V, 7.
Thank you.
But those 2 4s are still haunting David right now, and I mean, he can't do anything except hope Bob drops a couple out.
Yeah, I mean, the V count is low for both of these guys, but Sebold's been keeping it in there.
5, 7.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you.
Yeah, and I mean, and he's 7. Bob's only got 3 shots left here, so David's got, he's got to do his work, but he needs something to happen on the other side here.
he's definitely getting those Vs.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Which, if it was only 1 shot behind, it would be a huge advantage because that would require Sebold to only drop 1 4. But anything can happen.
5, 8.
Man,
Thank you.
Bob's found it. I mean, for sure. He's keeping it in there. And look at the flags all of a sudden.
Yeah, they died down.
Just nothing out there all of a sudden. Yeah, just dropped.
5, 9.
Thank you.
All right, Bob just needs to keep it clean on these 2, and he's looking good.
5, 9.
Thank you.
Yeah, look at that V count on
V10, you're
David.
up.
He's at 60% V count, but
Yeah,
you
and
know,
he's done. He did everything he could do.
all right.
V.
Sebold's going to take this
Thank
one.
you.
All right, so true to form, we're going to the third match.
Do it again.
Yes,
Yeah.
we will.
Chamber flag.
All right, here we go. Sebold goes first. Starts off with a 5.
One.
Thank you.
It's been a little bit of time. It's not like they just started up right after that last match.
Yeah, so it's been about 20 minutes or so.
Yeah.
The conditions are totally different now. Every
Look at those
match,
flags.
every match they have to start over, and obviously they're using their experience. And so the first shot is the tough one.
Yeah. And it looks like the sun's out a little bit more. You know, you're probably, just knowing how these two guys shoot. Bob's largely a flag guy. David prefers Mirage. So I think you might see David lean on that spotter just a little bit more if that sun comes out.
I don't want those.
All right.
Sebold hit a 5 cold bore, but then he hits a 4, and that indicates the wind is picking up. It's going the other way.
Yeah.
I don't want those either.
Wow.
He got them both.
And it's picking up because David probably took an extra, obviously took an extra hold on that, seeing what Bob's doing.
5, 1 on.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is a tough shot. See, this is what I meant. Because it appeared like he needs to give it more, but the flags had, they're trying to flip around. Look at the ones on the right. And I was worried that David would go out to the right, and he almost did.
V2.
Thank you.
Those flags are confused on the right, though. They just keep seeing them moving different directions.
And that's the tough part, right? If you're a shooter.
Yeah, and especially on a time, you're on a clock.
And, David went right, almost fell out. He sees the flags go to the right.
Me too.
Thank you.
I expect that he moved left.
Yeah. And, and as we talk about with these matches, you're on the clock. You only have 45 seconds to make a decision. So it's not like somebody can wait for the flags to go in a direction that they know it's going to do something. You got to commit at some point there.
They've both been stacking like 4 shots in a row right on top of each other.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Having said that, David's he caught a V where Sebold caught a 5, and that may be the difference.
Oh man, they're just right there.
Thank you.
Yeah. See, they both went left when they started, and I think they're safe siding at this point. They're trying to keep it on the right side of the target because they both got caught at the beginning.
Yeah.
Now David sees those flags. See those flags on the right?
Yeah.
He knows
there's a big old flag on the left that we can't see that he's looking up at also.
Yep.
Oh. Man.
That's what he was looking at.
4 on 4.
He knew something was different. Those flags on the right are pushing left. The flags on the left are pushing right. And, I mean, it looks, as bad as it looks, he missed it by like 1.5 inches at 1,000 yards. But, hey, a 4 is a 4.
Yeah, and you could see he knew it. There was something in that shot where he...
Yeah, well, look at Sebold. Sebold's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
It's hard to see, but sometimes that Mirage does just crazy stuff.
Oh.
5 on.
Thank you.
And you can see both of these guys were just nailing that center, and all of a sudden they're both lost a 4.
And imagine being in David's seat here. He was out to the right. Bob blows it left, and the flags are still a little wishy-washy. What the hell do you do?
Well, you You forget everything and start over. And he's got enough experience.
Yeah.
That
trust what he knows.
The best thing he can do at this point is trust what he knows, make a call, and go for it. And that's what he's doing. He's looking at everything. He's looking at us as much data as possible. He makes a call, sends it.
Oh, look at that!
It's a good one.
5 on.
Man.
Now I like David's style. He looks, he takes his time, but once he commits, he sends that shot. There's no second guessing.
Meanwhile, Bob's struggling a little bit. 2 4s in a row.
There's it wasn't Sebold. It was something out there in the conditions because David just put his way down there as well.
Five, 7 on.
Now Bob's back in it. Man, and there ain't too many shots left here. They're both past the halfway mark. Nice shot.
Man,
5, 7 on.
David's ahead by 1 V all of a sudden. You know what I mean? It's after this. They got 3 shots to go, and Sebold better get on that V ring.
Now there it is.
G8.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But how many times do we see these finales come down to the last 1 or 2 shots? Oftentimes the very last shot, they're tied up before they go into it.
That's the whole format that we have, right?
Yeah.
You're pairing up, and whoever makes it to the finale, it's going to be the 2 closest match shooters, just because of the format, the double elimination format. They're speeding up again.
Yeah, Bob almost got that one out a little bit.
Oh man, David can see the finish line.
Yep.
He still needs to be careful. As you saw, it doesn't take much to throw you out in the 4 ring.
Yeah.
Best, Sebold can just hit the 5 or a V and hope for the best.
Yeah, because the only thing that gets him a win right now is for David to throw a 4.
That's it.
Flash to be good shoot.
Man,
that went quick.
It did. It really did.
Thanks, bro.
Wow.
Lapua first and second.
Well, at least I didn't give it to you.
Seriously, it was awesome to shoot here in the finals.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was some fine shooting, both of you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
David, good job.
Appreciate it.
Woo! That went quick, man. These F-Open matches, they go quick.
Yeah, all joking aside, we did that TR final match, and I think it was about an hour. And I'm looking here, and I think it was all of about 20 minutes.
Well, it was just calm conditions, right? And you could tell when the conditions would get tough, these guys would hit the brakes and give the conditions the attention that they required, make a call and go for it. But once things kind of got stable, they would shoot quick. And again, these guys shoot together all the time. If anybody knows how Sebold coaches, it's quick. And of course, David's used to that. So I'm not surprised that it didn't take long. But anyway, that was a good match.
That was a great way to finish up season 3.
David wins. He gets a check for $5,000. Sebold gets a check for $3,000. And obviously, that is all thanks to our sponsors, Vortex and
Vidivori and Vortex. Yeah.
Yes, sir. All right, we got David here with us. Let's talk to David, and maybe he can give us some pointers for next year. Well, David, that was pretty good.
That was so fun to watch. It's been like 8 weeks since we had that match, and so many thoughts and memories came back just watching and hearing you guys comment on it. That was a lot of fun. V squared has got to be by far, Bisley, we're going in 2 weeks. We went last year, might rival it from an experience standpoint, but V Squared is probably one of my favorite matches.
Now, we were talking about how the conditions, how the wind was switching back and forth. And is that what was happening or what was going on there?
So if I back up a little bit, what was interesting about this year in V Squared is John commented, I'm a Mirage guy. I know Bob was a wind guy. The first day and a half, Mirage was awesome. That's all I used. The second day and a half, Mirage was gone. It wasn't telling the truth. So I switched to only flags for my last 3 matches, including this one against Bob. So walking into that match, I was a little nervous going, oh, this is the guy that coaches me all the time. He knows how to read flags. So I was a little nervous about that. I think John commented once, and if you notice that I'd always look left, there is a really big flag, maybe 100 yards in front on the left, and it was worth 3 lines. So if that thing turned on and was going, it was worth 3 whole lines, whether it's going left or whether it's going right. And in that match with Bob later in the afternoon, we had calls where I was holding 3 left for 1 shot. My very next shot, I was holding 3 right. So it looked like all the little downstream things were doing this. If you looked at the flag that was right here, it was 3 extra lines one way or the other. And that's why that was one of my main things I focused on is that was blowing a 4 or you hit a good shot.
Right.
Wow.
Now, whenever you would see that flag stand out, it's still, and I believe that's the reason you would take your time, because it was, there's still some doubt in the back of your mind, right? And then you go, man, I hope that thing is right, because if it's not, I'm about to blow a 3 that way.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, there were, so walking into V Squared, I've done a lot of matches with both of you all across the country. I was very intentional about the mental game going into this in terms of making sure that my head was in the right place. When I laid down, it was going to be all focused on the next shot, not the last shot. So like both of you, you're looking at the field of flags, and I had a little bit of inkling that this one controlled a lot and just scanning everything else. But you're absolutely right. I'm taking in everything that I can see and say, okay, based on what I see downrange and this one flag over here, I've got to make my best educated guess and let's send it.
Yeah, that's one thing I noticed. You would take in all the data, but once you would make up your mind, you just get down on the gun and shoot. There was no more questioning what you were doing.
Yeah, correct. It was literally just going through the process of where did my last shot go? Did the flags change at all? Do I have confidence in my gun? Let's just execute the next shot, because I tried to put all the variables into place and let's just go.
But now, how many on that last match that we just watched, how many of those shots were like legitimate pucker shots?
You probably can't tell it watching it. My last 3 shots, this flag here on the left was doing like nothing. And all down range, these were going this way, these were going this way. I literally guessed and said, hold center on all 3 of those shots. That turned out VVV.
Wow.
As I'm looking at it going, this here. I couldn't make an educated guess. So I was like, okay, hold center. And it actually showed up a V. So I'm like, okay. The next 2 ones rolled around. Same exact thing, hold center again.
Wow.
So those are the only 3 shots where I felt like I was guessing more than I was using what the flags were doing.
Interesting.
So did you get that, John? When you don't know what the flags are doing, hold center.
Hold center. We say that all the time, right? Just hold center.
But anyway, David, impressive performance. Good job.
Yeah.
You went to 3 matches on every single one, which that in itself is pretty impressive.
Yeah. You know, when you're asking ahead of time, hey, what's the ammo count needed? And you tabulate it. How many do I need for blow offs? How many do I need for this? You're like, oh, it's like 400 rounds. I shot like 350 rounds if you count blow offs and 3 all the way through. I was surprised how much ammo, because the last 2 seasons, I maybe shot 220, 230 rounds, and I had a lot of matches. I went pretty far both years. Yeah, I was close to 350 this year.
Wow. Well, good job, man. I don't know what else to say, man. You killed it. Good job.
Great shooting. Great shooting.
So I got to say, you guys are tremendous at doing this. I shoot with both of you, Eric. Probably 2/3 of the secrets I have in my bag are from you in terms of like small little things that when you're geeking around trying to test things, you're like, hey, this is obvious. Try this. And I take it home. I work on it. I'm like, how come I didn't know this like 2 years ago? So thank you for your coaching and being on your team. You're tremendous. John, you're my travel partner. We go to almost every single match together. We shoot every Tuesday night together. It feels like we go to battle every week as friends, as competitors. We go to all these big matches together. So I actually have a lot of respect for both of you. So thanks for having me on this.
It was awesome having you, and it was great to see you win. I know we were staying together when you won, and I was almost in tears for you when you won. I was so happy for you. I really was.
Yeah. Good job, man. Good job. You there's a lot of people that I help, but you know how to, you're smart enough and you know how to put the tidbits, you know how to line them up and put them to work. And that's just because you do put in the work. You don't just hope the thing will work out. You, like you said, you go to the range, you try it, and then you apply it to your system, and here it is. But anyway, good job. And again, congratulations.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you, John. Really appreciate it. Looking forward to next year.
Absolutely.
Right. John, anything else?
Just get out there, shoot in qualifying matches, make sure your scores are turned in, and you just might get an invite to next year's V Squared.
That's it. Keep them centered.